Picture a quiet, climate-controlled vault at Yale University. Somewhere in the shadows there, locked safely behind thick glass, is a book. And it's a book so totally perplexing, so utterly baffling, that it has literally stumped the brightest, most persistent minds for generations. So welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving straight into the most mysterious book in the entire world, the Voynich Manuscript.
Just let that sink in for a second. In 6 centuries, that is 600 years, not a single person on Earth has been able to read a single word of it. We're talking not the world's best codebreakers, not brilliant linguists, not even the most ridiculously powerful artificial intelligence we've ever built. Absolutely nobody.
And to really wrap our heads around the sheer scale of this mystery, you have to realize we aren't just talking about a quick scribbled note or some tiny fragment of a lost stone tablet. No, this is 240 pages. 240 completely handwritten, incredibly detailed pages of total impenetrable secrets.
And it has just been waiting there, patiently, in total silence for roughly 600 years. I mean, think about that massive span of a time. 6 whole centuries of human history, right? Wars happening, empires rising and completely falling apart, insane leaps in technology, and through all of that, this book has just sat there, keeping whatever knowledge it holds entirely to itself.
Now, what makes it even more impossible are the illustrations. The pages are absolutely packed with this bizarre, totally unknown script that looks, honestly, almost like an alien alphabet. But it certainly doesn't stop there. The book is richly illustrated with weird plants that literally do not exist in nature, crazy astronomical diagrams that map to nothing we actually know of, and these deeply surreal scenes of naked figures bathing in pools connected by weird green pipe systems. It is wild. You see, this isn't just random scribbling or the doodling of a madman. The text, if we can even call it a language, actually follows highly consistent patterns. It has a real grammar-like structure. Words repeat in these complex ways that strongly suggest they hold actual meaning. It behaves exactly like a real language. But it matches absolutely nothing, living or dead, that has ever been identified on Earth. It is, quite literally, the language that isn't.
Section 1. The greatest minds failed. Decades of defeat.
Now, you might naturally think, hey, someone smart enough, given enough time, could just figure this out, right? Well, history's greatest minds have all failed, completely and spectacularly. During World War II, the U.S. Army brought in their absolute top codebreakers. I'm talking the literal geniuses who cracked the Nazi Enigma machine and set them loose on the manuscript. They made zero progress. Then, in the 1960s, the NSA ran a highly classified analysis of the book, and whatever they found, they never released it publicly. Fast forward to today, and we've unleashed artificial intelligence, training advanced language models directly on the text. And you kind of have to laugh at the irony here. The smartest machines humanity has ever created, completely defeated by a 600-year-old book. Sure, the AI found patterns, but it completely failed to decode them into anything even remotely meaningful.
Every supposed solution, every confident announcement of some massive historical breakthrough by a dedicated researcher has quickly collapsed under scrutiny. And then, dead silence. The answer to who has solved it is nobody. This manuscript has stood its ground and defeated literally everyone who has ever dared to challenge it.
Section 2. Unsettling theories. 4 possibilities.
Because, as you know, when facts run out, theories rush right in to fill the void. Researchers have narrowed things down to 4 distinct possibilities for what this book actually is. And I gotta warn you, as we go through these, each one feels just a little bit darker than the last. So, the first theory suggests a kind of tragic linguistic isolation. It proposes that the Voynich manuscript is written in a genuine, functioning language, but one that was spoken by a very small, incredibly isolated community. A language never recorded anywhere else in all of human history. And when that community tragically died out, their language died right along with them, leaving only this single unreadable book behind as a silent ghost of their existence.
Or was it just a clever fake? Something designed to scam wealthy medieval book collectors out of their gold? I mean, it's totally possible. But to invent a fake language with flawless grammatical distribution for hundreds of pages just for a medieval scam, that actually seems almost as impossible to execute as cracking the book itself. The sheer statistical complexity of the text, which stays remarkably consistent across all 240 pages, would be extraordinarily difficult to fake perfectly by hand.
Okay, the third theory is that we're looking at a secret cipher. This idea suggests the manuscript is actually a complex medical or alchemical text written in a highly advanced private code. The thought here is that the author was desperately trying to protect dangerous herbal remedies, scientific breakthroughs, or maybe alchemical knowledge from the strict religious authorities of the 1400s. Because, let's remember, they frequently suppressed that kind of knowledge and brutally punished anyone who possessed it.
And then there is the fourth theory, the absolute darkest one, the alien mind. This theory suggests that the manuscript isn't a lost language, and it's not a clever code at all. Rather, it's something we don't even have a category or a conceptual framework to understand. The idea is that it was written by a human mind that processed reality and structured thought so completely differently than we do today that translating it into our modern terms is literally impossible.
Section 3. What we know. The hard facts. To really ground ourselves here, we have to separate the wild theories from the undeniable physical facts. The vellum, which is the prepared animal skin the book is actually written on, has been definitively carbon dated to between 1404 and 1438. The ink is totally consistent with that exact era too, proving once and for all that this is definitely not a modern forgery. It was famously rediscovered in 1912 by a Polish book dealer named Wilfred Voynich, hence the name. Interestingly enough, deep handwriting analysis shows subtle variations across different sections, which proves it was actually written by at least 2 distinct authors. We also know for a fact it was once owned by the Holy Roman Emperor Rudolph II in the late 1500s. He reportedly paid 600 gold ducats for it, which was an absolute staggering fortune at the time.
But here is where the physical facts become, honestly, deeply unsettling. Imagine holding this ancient, delicate thing in your hands and suddenly realizing pieces are missing. At some point in its very long history, several pages were violently removed from the manuscript. We have absolutely no idea when they were torn out, we don't know by whom, and we certainly don't know what dark, vital secrets were written on them that someone felt desperately needed to be destroyed or hidden.
And the detail that haunts researchers the most, that's found at the very back of the manuscript. On the final surviving pages, the handwriting undergoes this dramatic shift. The writing suddenly becomes more hurried, more frantic, more urgent. It looks exactly as if whoever was writing it knew, without a doubt, that they were rapidly, terribly running out of time.
And then it simply stops, right mid-sentence. The author never even finished their thought. We are left forever suspended right at the climax of whatever they were so desperately trying to tell us, just staring at a blank space where the end of the story should be.
Section 4. The unbreakable silence. Waiting in the vault.
Despite all of our modern advancements, the entire Voynich manuscript has been fully digitized online today, totally free for anyone to study. The physical book itself, it sits quietly in a climate-controlled vault, completely safe behind thick glass in the Voynich Rare Book Library at Yale. And yet, every single modern research paper practically ends the exact same way. More research is needed. 600 years have passed. The greatest cryptographers in human history have tried. The most powerful artificial intelligence ever built has tried. And they have all been met with absolute, impenetrable silence. Whatever knowledge, whatever strange secrets were important enough for someone to carefully commit to 240 pages, they remain completely and perhaps permanently locked.
So, a deeply lingering question remains. Will the Voynich manuscript forever be the one thing in human history that absolutely refuses to be understood? Maybe one day an AI will finally crack the code and find the pattern our human minds have missed. Or maybe some secrets are just meant to be kept forever. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep asking those big questions and definitely keep exploring the fascinating, mysterious corners of our world.